Hello there, this is SWGOH Yeti coming from the SWGOH Yeti Twitch channel you may have possibly seen or heard of. You are listening currently to the Escape Pod cast. This show is recorded in front of a live Twitch audience.
Hey, wait. Give me that. No, I'll tell you what, you're gonna sit there, you're gonna subscribe and listen to these two young men because they're menches. All right, now take it away, boys.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod cast.
The new calendar is out. A bit late, but we still got it.
And we will break it down and tell you what we think of the contents.
We review the week that was of creator versus creator GAC matchups.
Of course, some of them were forced though, Neil, and we already told people how we feel about those last week.
Doja Fett stopped by the SWGOH events Discord server this week.
Did he give us any juicy information? That's the question.
In our incoming transmission, we have part one of our spotlight on the new version of HotUtils.
That's right, it'll be live, and HotSauce himself joins us in our interview segment.
And he is even bringing a friend. Grand Ivory from the Mods Optimizer will be here too.
A new episode of Helle and The Noob that you don't want to miss after last month's cliffhanger in our third break.
And Patreon's choice if we have time on the bridge, with breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod cast.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod cast. I'm your host, The Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how are you today?
I am doing well, but you already knew that. We ask each other that every single morning.
Yes. We're good. It's good. It's good.
So, first off, we want to start out, Awaken777, thank you very much for the 100 bits, and Helenix for the shiny nickel. Now, we are on a, what's the word here? We are trying to reach a goal in February. We're trying to get to 2,000 donated during the month of February in order to take care of pretty much all the expenses. And what we're going to do is, if we hit that 2,000, anybody that's a Patreon this month and next month, and also anybody that they will automatically, at $5 or more, automatically get a Escape Podcast pop socket, just like the one right there on the back of my phone if you're watching. We will get the we'll get that out to you if you are a Patreon at the $5 level or more. If you are a Twitch subscriber and we hit the 2,000, all this depends on hitting that 2,000. We will then randomly draw names, and with all the remaining pop sockets, we're going to order 100. And we're going to send out to any Twitch subscriber that is randomly drawn a Escape Podcast pop socket. As long as you're serviceable by the U.S. Postal Service, it will get to your hands. So,
there you go.
Should be fun. What we're trying to do is we're trying to hit the operational budget for the show this month, and this month alone. With my 40th coming up later in this month, I would love to see that. Also, with 2 weeks from tonight, it being the 2-year anniversary of the Escape Podcast, we're hoping we'll hit it this month. There's all good chances.
My 2-year anniversary coming up as well.
That is very true.
As in, no. It's the 25th of February is the second anniversary of me doing Grand Arena live.
So
I did.
So your 2-year anniversary is on my 40th.
Yeah.
There you go.
Urs was the first content creator to do Grand Arena live. We're talking like way back at the beginning of 2019 when it was still Grand Arena. This was before they brought in Grand Arena Championships mid 2019. So Urza started doing Grand Arena in January, and I thought, you know what, that looks like a lot of fun. So that, I jumped on the bandwagon.
Well, Dicky Darkside and Awakened 777, thank you both for the subscriptions. We really appreciate that. That gets us $5, a total of $5 closer to the 2K challenge. I mean, it build upon build. I really hope it happens this month. I really want to put some pop sockets on people's phones.
Yes, that would be nice. So, and if you want to know what it looked like, just go onto my channel. Go onto my YouTube channel. I know it's a desolate place right now. It's a very desolate place right now. But go back to my live stream from the 25th of February, 2019. And have a look what Grand Arena looked like back then. I'm not kidding you. It's 4 territories. It's 1 team per territory. That's what Grand Arena looked like. I'm not joking. Go and have a look. It's absolutely bonkers.
Vendetta, one of our GA Center people that we cover. He says he remembers you sitting in a basement with a tablet recording your content quite some time ago.
Yeah, no, that was what my first Grand Arena live stream was, me streaming from my tablet. It's me streaming from my tablet. That's what it was. That's what I had to do because I didn't have a decent PC setup or any. I did not have a PC or a laptop that would do it, that would stream it. So I used a DU recorder and I streamed directly. I did live streams directly from my from my tablet. Everybody, you got to start somewhere. 2018, 2019. That was how I started off as a content creator, literally from my tablet. And you were doing content back when Arnold was actually in his own house doing. Yeah. But no, I was doing it before he was the Grand Admiral. I was doing
that too.
I was doing content. I mean, the people that were making content back then are so different from now. I mean, back then you had Smithy D. Smithy D was putting out videos. You had Mike Hunt doing videos. I mean, back then there was still, you got to remember, back then there was still a content creator program. CG still had a content creator program back then. So yeah. And the numero uno big cheese was Warrior.
At that time, yeah.
At that time, the numero uno big cheese was Warrior.
Lennox does point out that a lot of content creators start off on their mobile devices. I hear this one Spartan guy still uses his Note 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, they did start a hype train. JJ Manners. All right, guys.
Oh,
we
JJ
have started a hype train.
We're drinking. By the way, JJ, we're drinking tonight. I'm doing my GACs. I'm starting at midnight. So we're going to have a few bevies. We're going to have a few beers. We're going to have a few honey bourbons. I think 4 Strongs are going to join us. So if you're around.
So speaking of GAC, Neil, you do have you have something special coming up.
Oh God, yeah, no. I have my first live GAC. I have my first live. I mean, I've had GACs where I've had opponents who've been in the chat, so they've had their battles and they've come and stuck around in chat, and we've had a bit of a discussion. And they've been there and they've either been quiet or they've chatted and they've come to watch the stream because they want to see how their defense does. So that's happened a couple times. But today is kind of special because not one account, but 2 accounts. I'm going to be doing live battles. So my main account is going to be up against a guy. Both my competitors are Australian, by the way, so we've got an Ashes going on here. It's England versus Australia. Twice. So it's England versus Australia twice. So my first competitor is going to be around about midnight. So I'll be doing my GACs in reverse.
Central.
Central. Normally I start around. Normally I start with my small, and then I go to the pom-pom-tastic, and then I go to my main ult, and then I go to my main. I'm doing everything in reverse. So I'll be starting with the main. We'll be starting with the main event. We'll be starting with my main account, and that is going to be against a guy called Ashius. Ashius is a 600k lifetime banner. He has not been full cleared this month, right? He's going for a 12-0. Obviously, I'm going for an 11-1 because I had some bad RNG in week 2, which kind of sucked. So, yeah, a real challenge. We've agreed that we're going to do it live. So, you know, he'll do a battle, I'll do a battle, and we'll go backwards and forwards until, you know, a winner is declared. Then I'll do my 2 ults in the middle. And then at 2 a.m., I am going to be fighting against somebody else from ANZGC. So I'm going to be up against Hammy, who is in the same guild as Rico. Obviously, we're in the same alliance, just different guilds. So and we're going to do the exact same thing again there. We're going to go backwards and forwards. So I've got my main account and my small alt account, and both of them are going to be live tonight.
So, what's real quick? Thank you very much, Hellenix, JJ Manners, and Dickie Darkside for throwing bits at the hype train. You got we're halfway. We're at 5% of a level 2 hype train on Twitch. Would love to see it go farther, but
effing chew.
And then JJ Manor says, how many hours until Paul? I'll do mine during the after show. I don't want to steal Neil's thunder, since I have to be up at 4 a.m. for work.
Paul, steal my thunder on GAC.
Exactly. I don't want to steal your thunder. I'm going to take down a GL this time around without a GL.
I have no GLs, but yeah, my opponents are going to be... my main opponent saying that he's never been full clear. That's just laying down the gauntlet. Is that just So no, you cannot. I mean, I've seen what he's put on defense, so I know what's on his front wall, and I've looked at what he does defensive wise on SWGOH.gg. So I know I can full clear him, and I know what teams people have difficulty clearing him on, and I've made damn sure that I've saved the squads necessary to smash those teams that other people have struggled with. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to smash those teams. I'm going to open up his back wall. I'm going to drive through door number 2. My only concerns, and they are genuine, are his fleet. He's got everything. I mean, I've got everything, but he's got both get 2s at 7 stars, and I don't. I've got 1 get 2 at 7 and 1 get 2 at 5. But he's got the Radis and the Finalizer at 6 and 7 stars, and mine are only at 4 and 5 stars. So I
That's
know
gonna be close.
I mean, it doesn't. It's not. It's not so much a concern from a defensive point of view. From an offensive point of view, because I've got what is necessary to clear his fleet. My issue is I know I can't put anything down that he doesn't have the ability to triple tap. He's got enough fleets, if necessary, to be able to triple tap me. So if my defense gets 1 hold, I know that he's got 2 really strong teams behind that he's going to be able to double and triple tap if necessary. So, but yeah. There's a couple of nice surprises for him behind door number 2. So yeah. But as soon as he said as soon as I saw that he couldn't that he hadn't been full cleared but had been doing the full clears, I'm like, let's see if we can't reverse the roles here. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting.
SCP Gaming and JJ Manners, thank you. We are through the hype train. We got to level 1. We do appreciate each and every single way of support. If you are listening to the show, by the way, or watching it on YouTube, and you still want to contribute towards that goal, Patreon is acceptable, but you can also do the link. One of the first links right underneath the description of this is basically telling people how, where to go to donate directly to the show. So that will also work if you are interested in doing that. So thank you to those who were here live as we did this. And thank you to those who listen on replay through the podcast channels. We appreciate each and every single one of you. All right. So, Neil, we had GAC matchups. We talked about this last week. Creator versus creator. But the problem with half, was it half or was it 2/3?
Well, we had... we knew that last week we knew about the two that were coming up. So we knew about...
Heinze versus
we knew about Heinze versus Urza, and
Cubs versus Arnold.
We knew about Cubs versus Arnold, and we also knew before the matches happened, we knew what the results were going to be, which is why a lot of people described them as exhibition matches as opposed to competitive matches, because we knew that Heinze was going to beat Urza because Urza doesn't know the account that he was on. And we knew that Arnold was going to beat Cubs because Cubs doesn't know the account that,
and we were right.
He was using. And it's a lot, it's a lot harder. I mean, I know somebody, I recall somebody piping up in a chat saying that, they'd got their hands on an alt account. Someone had just quit. As what tends to happen is when people quit the game, that they tend to give their account to, a close friend or a guild member that has the time to, keep running it so that it's not like just dead money or dead waste. And I remember I spoke to somebody on the day that the Cubs Arnold one was, and they said that they got that. It took them a month to get to come to grips with that account, 1 full month to get to grips with the mods, the characters, what each of the characters were capable of, what had been omegaed, what had been zated. Because it takes a lot of time to just remember and figure out and know exactly what your squads are capable of. Is your Treya squad capable of doing geos? Is your Reverend squad capable of doing these are things that and learn and just have in the back of your mind whenever you go into a GAC. And just taking on account from scratch, you don't know that. So you might look at it and go, oh yeah, no, Darth Revan, I know that'll easily mirror another Darth Revan match. And then you'll go into it and you'll be like, oh crap, I'm getting beaten here. And then you'll go back and look at the stats of your opponent and you'll think, hang on a minute, 330, my Darth Revan's 350. And then it'll suddenly hit you, oh, my Darth Revan's 350. And you'll look at your new account and you'll look at the speed on your new Darth Revan and you'll realize they're only 310 and you'll think, yeah, I should have known that, but...
Because you never make those mistakes.
Because I make those mistakes. I make those mistakes. Or I've got 4 accounts and I get my solos mixed up all the time. I tried a Malik solo. I tried a Malik solo on First Order on one account, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it's not going to be a problem. I'm 170 tenacity. It's not a problem. I'm going to be able to do this. Wrong. The 170 tenacity Malik, Relic 4 Malik, was on another account, and the Relic 4 Malik that I was using on that account only had 140 tenacity. So he was getting stunned, and he got destroyed. So, and that's me knowing my own accounts, but getting them mixed up. So, but we did have one competitive, Paul. We did have one competitive this week, and that was Cubs whatever.
Yeah, and we do apologize. We did start to hype up the fact that we were going to cover it on Fight Night, but due to one of the streamers not granting permission for us to simulcast, we had to cancel those plans. But there's a chance we will be able to do one coming up, possibly Sunday night, Monday morning.
Yeah, we just need Infernum to win. We just need Infernum to win. Cody's won.
So Cody has won?
Cody's won his, yeah. Cody won his. We just need Infernum to win his. But, whatever won his match up against Cubs in their AA League match. So, Fort Mort won't be too pleased with that because obviously Fort Mort and whatever are rivals in the AA League of GA Center. And whatever, took home the bacon, basically. Convincingly took home the bacon. So, yes. And hopefully we will get a Div 3 match between Infernum and Cody. Infernum really, really needs the win because Infernum is currently 2 rounds behind Cody. So it's kind of a one up and a one down. If he can beat him, it puts him within 1 and gives him a banner advantage as well. So he's going to.
So I don't see where Cody says that he won.
I could have swore he said in the Div 3-4 chat that he won.
No, that was the previous one. He hasn't won this one yet.
Okay, he hasn't won this one yet. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Fingers crossed. We want them both to win so that we can see them in the finals. That's what we want. We want them both in. We want them both in the finals.
Okay, you're right. So yesterday, yesterday squeaked out a win. No, that would have been the previous one.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we want them both to win, so they're both 2-0 going into the final. That's what we want, because that'll make it more exciting. That'll definitely make it more exciting. And I know the people that are at the top of that league will be itching for it as well. Stone and Renard are going to be like, come on! Yes, they will be. They most certainly will be. Because there's so many people undefeated in that league. There's so many people undefeated in the 3-4. Stone, Moyo, and Renard will be. They'll be kind of hoping that Infernum can pull one out of the bag and beat Commander Cody and kind of put some distance between the top 3 of the division and Commander Cody. And like I said, gives Infernum the opportunity to catch up.
Vendetta says he needs Infernum to win as well.
Yeah. See, Vendetta wants Infernum to win as well.
So we're hoping we'll be able to call that. If so, we'll be posting that on our Twitter. I'm sure you'll post that on yours. What's your Twitter? Remind folks what your Twitter is.
My Twitter is @PomPomtastic1.
Yeah. And the Twitter for our show is TepC or Tep Castaways, TEP Castaways. That's an all-encompassing thing, not just on the podcast, but also GA Center, Fight Nights, and the rest of
everything.
Rest of our friends that are doing well. We do want to congratulate. There's a few little announcements we want to make sure that we do. We want to congratulate Sweens on making affiliate. Sweens is a wonderful person who supports this community like no other. Sweens is spelled SWEENES 14. Make sure you go give him a follow on Twitch. We also want to congratulate Darth Kermit, who we had on 2 weeks ago. He is working on a Phase 1 Crankor solo team.
Yeah, phase one of the Crankor's already been soloed.
Yeah. So he's working on videos on how to make that happen. And because of that, he hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So congratulations to Darth Kermit on the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're very, very proud of you. And also, before we go to a break, we do want to wish a happy birthday to the one and only person who antagonizes a lot of people in our Patreon chat, and we love her so much. Happy birthday, Cascade. Her birthday will be on Sunday. So, and thank you, Cuss Off the Pally. Thank you very much for the subscription as we are about to go to break. After these messages, we'll be right back and we'll talk about the calendar and more as we lead up to the interview with Hot Sauce and Grand Ivory right here on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
HotBot and HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Hello, I am Andy Beeds, commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion.
And I'm Camp Director Flair of Gaming Embers.
We are the officers of the Chain Gang.
We're a collection of Twitch streamers that like to stream our Grand Arena Championship battles.
In Star Wars Galaxy Heroes,
We feature accounts of all sizes,
from the large accounts like Fruit Ninja Mike
to the small accounts like, well, mine.
We have Grand Arena action for all viewers.
With names like The Llama,
Ran B,
Dr. Zeppers,
Mr. Jigabachi,
Geek Girl 1980,
Rico,
Kate Gaming,
Flair,
Andy Beads,
and the Escape Podcast's own The Nev.
We bring you continuous game action every day during the attack phase.
Check us out and ride the raid chain from streamer to streamer with us.
The Chain Gang is proud feature of the Escape Pod Castaways.
See you on the chain, ya hosers.
The Escape Pod cast.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. It's segment 2.
Oh, man.
Let's do segment 2.
Let's do segment 2. We'll first start off by informing you that the next time we will see Galactic Bounties is going to be a week from today. We will see Galactic Bounties 2. And then we will also see a Smuggler's Run on Tuesday, the 9th. Will be a Smuggler's Run. So prepare for those. But let's also prepare for the rest of the month by taking a look and seeing what's coming up. We have the next assault battle. We just had the Empire versus the Ewoks, Empire and Droids. The next assault battle is coming up on the 13th. So that'll be Saturday. That is going to be Ground War. Which one is that? Is that the Jedi one?
I'm not sure, to be perfect. They all just kind of like meld into one. I just wait for it to open up and keep my fingers crossed that I've got something that'll at least get me past Challenge Tier 1. Which is why I'm glad to see the Back of the Forest
Jedi versus Separatists.
Jedi versus, oh god, yeah, that's an easy one then. Jedi versus Separatist, yeah, I'm Jedi versus Separatist. I like that one because my JKL just autos Challenge Tier 2. So can't do Challenge Tier 3 yet, but I just put my JKL in and it's autoable with a Relic 7 JKL. You can auto Challenge Tier 2. It's awesome.
Yeah, I do like it for that reason as well. Rebel Roundup, the Bounty Hunters, is coming up on the 19th, which will be 2 Fridays from now.
Yeah, very important so that you can for all of those people that are chasing JKL that need Rolo shards. That's where you're going to get 20 Rolo shards.
Well, no, that's the Galactic Bounties one. The Rebel Roundup, that's the assault battle one for.
Oh, is that just standard rebels and rebel ships as the reward?
So it includes Rolo shards in that?
No, it doesn't. That one doesn't include Rolo shards.
Yeah,
that's like your Phoenix, your Rogue Ones, and your standard rebels.
Yeah,
but they're all doubled. They're all doubled. So it's definitely a useful event if you need those characters, and even more useful if you need shard currency, because you get it's instead of getting 5, you get 10 now. So very, very useful, especially for ships. If you're chasing those random rebel ships that you haven't farmed, like
ships are still on the original recipe. What's the word? Cadence, if you will.
So yeah, very useful for that.
So Zaz says the secret to Tier 3 is to finish every round by doing the bonus leader ability. Then Luke will always go first and slow everyone down in the next phase.
Secret to Tier 3 is finish every round by doing. Okay, I suppose there's that.
There you go.
I'll give it a try, see if it works.
Yep. And then on the 24th, day before your anniversary and my birthday, is the Secrets and Shadows event. That's the one with Phoenix and Night Sisters.
Yeah, I hate that one.
Oh, and then we get Places of Power 3 days later.
Like I said, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what they all do because there's so many of them. And I don't have every single faction, so some of them I just get to the mythic level. I can't even get past Challenge Tier 1 on some of them. Especially that one. Because I don't have Night Sisters that can do it, and I don't have Phoenix that can do it. I don't know a lot of people that have got Phoenix that can do it, actually.
Yep. We will see the Radis twice. We'll see it tomorrow. And we will also see the Radis on the 22nd.
Yeah, and we got 2 finalizers.
We're going to see the finalizer on the 11th and the final day of the year. Or final day of the month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. I've always said that they need to do both of those at least twice a month, and it's good that they do those at least twice a month. Not that it matters to me because I still can't do the bonus level for the fire. I could do the Radis. That's not a problem. I'm getting my shards for the Radis, but when it comes to the finalizer, it's against the negotiator, and I'm clueless as to what to do with the finalizer against the negotiator. It just doesn't want to work for me. So I have a lowly 4-star finalizer, and he's never going to be 5 or 6 or 7. So what are you going to do, eh?
So next week, Wednesday, is the start of the light side territory battles, and then on my birthday itself, the 25th, dark side battles begins for territory battles.
Mm-hmm.
Next GAC is going to be 5v5 versus Fleet.
Yeah, and everybody breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Except for you.
Except what?
Except for you.
I'm getting better.
I like 5v5. I just, I've always been a big proponent of 3v3. I've always liked 3v3. Don't get me. It's not that I don't like. I love 5v5. I have, you know, I've never understood the disdain so many people have for 3v3. I like the double challenge. I like the multiple challenge. So yeah. Even though I'm not going 12-0 this season. So, I mean, fingers crossed I still hit 11-1, but you know, I usually got 12. I used to get 12-0 on 3v3 all the time, and ever since we've started doing GA Center, I haven't.
There's Cascade. She missed us telling her happy birthday. Happy birthday, Cascade. But here's what everybody's up in arms about. This is what the Reddit dumpster fire is talking about. And that's on the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd. Once a month, we are going to see Mandalorian-themed galactic challenges.
Mm-hmm.
You should have, with the exception of the armor, you should have a... If you've been playing, I sometimes forget that we have newer players sometimes, and I apologize about that. If you've been playing this game for a while to where you're listening to a podcast about it, you should have 5 Mandalorian characters able to do every feat of Tier 4.
Yeah, and some people are going to have. you might. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Gambit podcast tonight. Obviously, it's going to be. Obviously, it's, you know, close to midnight when they air that. But they will be. I think there's about 2 or 3 people that are going to be gear 13ing their Gar Saxon. I think they've got Mudbum on as a guest tonight, and he's going to take his Gar Saxon to gear 13. I also think Solo is taking his Gar Saxon to gear 13. So there's a bunch of people on the Gambit podcast tonight taking their Gar Saxons to gear 13. So hey, they're going to have something to go with their Django, and their Mando, and their Boba. You know, so it might not affect them as much, but it's still going to annoy people. I mean, it's an annoying one. It's like, oh, we want you to gear up your Mandalorians, and people are like, yeah, I don't wanna. You know, there are people that still don't have Mando. There are people that still don't have Bam, and there are people that definitely still don't have the armorer more than 3 stars. I mean, I've got mine at gear 8, 3 stars, and I've put both Zetas on her because she is awesome with JKL and JKR for countering slackers. So, you know, just so everybody out there knows that.
Yeah, armor is definitely getting the focus treatment once she becomes farmable.
Oh yeah, I will definitely.
And I did eat my words. You can verify for me. You could vouch for me. I ate my words that she was a playable character.
Yeah. I'm going for her. I was working on my for my counter. I was working on a different character for my off-meta slacker counter, but now, yeah, I'm just going to be working on her. Slacker pokes JKR, instantly drops him below 60% health. Armorer gets her 3 stacks. You dump those 3 stacks on JKL, and poof, you win. You just win. Yes, you still need your JKL at Relic 7, but you're going to win. It's as simple as that. You're going to win.
But today we had a fun Rebel Galactic Challenge. If you have JKL, you should be able to do well in this Galactic Challenge, Neil.
I did it without him. I used JKL Han, Chewie, C-3PO, and Lando, and I cleared tier 7 straight away.
Yeah, but the thing is, you just admitted to playing tier 7 of a Galactic Challenge.
Yeah, but I only had to play it once. That was it. I just had to play it once, which was great. you get an extra go if you get a crit chance. So you use your if you've got Lando Calrissian and you've got him over 100% crit chance, which I do, then yeah, just throw him in. He'll AoE, he'll crit chance, and if you've got your guard on him, he'll go again, and you bring Chewie in on the attack as well. So yeah, it was over. It was done in 60 seconds. It was done in 60 seconds.
Yes, and Yoda510 just followed us and also asked, don't you mean CLS? Yes, I'm sure that Neil meant CLS.
Yeah, that's what I use. CLS, Han, Chewie, C-3PO, and Lando Calrissian. Lando's Relic 3, CLS is Relic 3, CLS, Han, and Chewie are all Relic 4. And I just motored straight through it. 60 seconds. Done. Never, don't have to repeat it.
You could go in with a third droid to try to get those.
My droids ain't good enough. My C-3PO is the only Relic Rebel light side droid I've got. All my other droids are gear 11 or below. Actually, no, my R2 is gear 12.
I was gonna say R2 and BB-8. You should be able to do it with Han, Chewie, and the droids.
Well, that's just it. There's no leadership.
Or not Han, Chewie, CLS and Han, and the droids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I might give it a try.
If you've done all the feats, all you have to do is pass 6.
Yeah, I'm really not that fast.
All right.
I looked at my reward crate. And went, "Yep, that'll do." I've just got to do it on all my other accounts now, which won't be difficult because my CLS. Oh, actually, no. No, my CLS Han Chewie is not relicked on all 4 of my accounts. Only 3 of my 4 accounts. So yeah, I'll do it. I'll be able to do that on 3 or 4 of my accounts.
So coming up on the Run DMVini, we'll be very happy because on the 12th will be Sith. I'll be happy on the 19th because it'll be the First Order, and you'll be happy on the 26th because it's going to be Jedi.
Yeah. I'll be happy. I'll be happy with
you and Jedi Master Adastra.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that because that's my arena team is Jedi at the moment. That's what my arena team is. It's all Jedi, and they're all Relic 7s and 5s. So yeah, I'll be very happy. I know I'm going to be able to just womp straight through that. It's going to be easy.
So, CG decided to stop by the SWGOH events server. Seems that they're doing that now every Wednesday or Thursday. And just, taking the temperature of the community. Both our friends from the Gambit crew and I tried to reach out to Doja twice to see if they had any comment on the recent rash of creator versus creator events. Sadly, we did not get a reply. So, what can we do from here? How do we get a response to even get thoughts on the stuff that people have put together?
You just keep asking this. You just got to keep asking the same question over and over and over and over again. It's as simple as that. It's like you've got to flog that dead horse. And every time you ask the question again, you simply go, "Yeah, we've been asking you this question for months now, and we would appreciate the respect of an answer, even if that answer is to say no, we're never going to do it. We're not going to do it. Forget about it." The question deserves an answer.
We shouldn't have to pester them with a question. No, it's like a kid sitting.
Okay, think of it this way, right? If you ask the question and they never answer it, and then you never answer the question again, that doesn't make any sense. To ask the question, have it not responded to or answered in any way, shape, or form, and then just not ask the question again. You've got to keep asking the same question over and over and over again until it garners a response. Or else, what's the point? Seriously, if you ask it once and they never respond, and then you stop asking, they'll be like, oof, great, they're not asking us that question anymore. Therefore, we do not need to answer it because they're not asking it. You've got to ask the same question over and over and over again until you get a rational or reasonable response.
But it's like the kid in the back of the car. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah, exactly.
It gets annoying to listen to.
Yeah, it gets annoying to listen to, but at some point, you're going to get an answer. Even if your parents are like, we'll be there when we bloody get there. Oh my God's sake, shut up, we're 10 minutes away. You know, I don't care what type of response is. If you do not keep asking the question, you're never going to get a response. And if you don't ask the question, you're most certainly never going to get a response.
That's true if I were not to ask the question. But where is... I know we're not entitled to it, Neil. I know that we're not entitled to any praise or admonition, either direction, for the work that we do for GA Center. But it would be nice for an acknowledgement of, yes, we've seen it and we appreciate it. Or, yes, we've seen it and it the developers have taken notice or something like that.
Oh, I mean, I don't care about getting recognition from CG because they don't do that on it. They don't do that for any show. They don't do that for any show whatsoever.
Galactic War Report.
No, they don't come out and say, "Oh, we appreciate what Galactic War Report does." They just go on Galactic War Report.
No, they've done that. They've done it.
But we have to keep asking the question. And the question does need to continue to be asked, and we do deserve the community deserves a response. You know,
the community does, not us personally.
The community deserves a response to the question. The community are the customers. They are consumers of a product put out by CG. Okay, it's as simple as that. You know, if Oil of Yule made a product that was crap and the consumers were like, yeah, we really, really don't like this product. Can you make something better? If you don't, we'll go to one of your competitors. I mean, there are no competitors, obviously, to SWGOH Sheets. There's no competitors to this game, which is why they have most people over a barrel. But for us to not demand, it is well within the rights of the community, who are the customers and the consumers of the product, to demand an answer to questions regarding the quality of the product. Because what we're asking for is an increase in the quality of the product. Why won't they give us this increase in the quality of the product that the community is spending money on, consuming their, dollars and their Deutschmarks and their euros and their pounds on, because at the end of the day, the community is the game's consumer. They are the customers. And if you want better quality for your product, if you want better bang for your buck, you ask questions and you demand higher quality. And obviously, the question that we're asking is, we want more content creator GAC versus GACs, and the easiest and the simplest way to get something like that would be for them to create a PvP, one single round Grand Arena format within the game.
So my question, just for let me pull back. I'm gonna go to where I had it. This was my exact question that I posted, and then Zareth posted something similar, and I think Solo Base did as well. Have you guys taken notice of the recent uptick in content creator matchups, and their coverage by other creators as well. And then coverage of GACs overall with GA Center. I did give us a slight plug. I'm not ashamed in that. If so, has this inspired anything within the office?
Yeah, the next time they come in, I will ask a question. To be honest with you, I'll do it from a project. I'll put some project manager speak on. I'll ask for it. You know, as you know, we as consumers of your product in this chat would like to see a higher quality of product, and one of the ways that you can provide us with that higher quality of product that we would like to spend our money on is if you were to give us the ability to, you know, fight each other in single Grand Arena combat in a live format. And, you know, don't put, you know, put no individual slant on it. Just do it as, we are, you know, consumer producer relationship. We are the consumers. You are the producers of the product that we consume, and we would like to see some better quality. And you would like to make money, so why not give us a higher quality product that people are more inclined to spend more money on? You know,
SDP wants to see you versus I.
There is, you know, there's a Pacific Ocean-sized gulf between our accounts. It's never going to happen. It's never, ever going to happen.
But you did mention that your second alt, your second account, is slowly creeping up on the same top 80 as your first account.
Yes, it is. Yeah, my main alt, not GP, but the top 80, is creeping up on my main account. So my main account's 5 mil. My main alt is 4.4. But the top 80 GP on them both is 1.7. So yeah, they're very, very close.
Yeah. Dickie Darkside also points out that he and I could also match. We do have very, very close top 80s. And Dickie, if that ever happens, I will stream on YouTube so Neil can do a fight night and call it on the Twitch channel.
Well, no, just do it on the Escape Pod, and just do it on the Escape Pod's channel, and I'll call it on my channel.
Either way.
You've got to remember, I mean, I do have my own channel as well.
That is very true.
Because if I ever matched up with somebody in Division A, that would be the easiest way. So that you would do a fight night on the Escape Pod cast channel, and I would run my account on just my own private Twitch channel.
That's very true. I do hope that, I will match up. You know, the people that are in my division for GA Center include the likes of Moon, Fisk, Mudbum, Deadpool Kyle, the Senate, Dread Zeppers, Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and Scorch the Hoss. I would love to see a matchup of Scorch the Hoss versus me, wrestler versus wrestler.
That would be funny. That would be very, very funny.
I would dust off the old Storm and Mormon duds just for that match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would, and I would, if two of my accounts were to face if my alt was to face my main, yes, it would be fun to have you, but to make it competitive, specifically within, just with regards GA Center, what I would do is I would get one of my rivals. So I would get like Yeti or Calvin Awesome to run my alt, because I know that they would be trying, they would like...
I say Boma Fett.
No, because I don't get me wrong, I think Bomber's great, but, I would love to have a shot at Calvin or at Yeti, because those two guys are above me.
And so's Tilo. Don't forget Tilo Mad.
Tilo's not above me.
Yeah, he is. Tilo's currently 9-0 with 23,576 banners for this season.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yep, Tilo's there as well. So, yeah, Calvin or Tilo or Yeti. One of those three. Because there's skin in the game. They have skin in the game. Yes, they would be playing my ult to try and beat my main, but they've got skin in the game.
All right. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a break. We are on the push to 2K through the month of February. Any bits, donations, subs, all that stuff. If we hit 2K, our Patreons get pop sockets. Our subs will be randomly drawn to get pop sockets. We hope that you can help in that. If you're listening to this on the podcast, the Streamlabs link down below does go directly to the show. It would be it'd be nice. So guys, stick around. Coming up after the break, it's what everybody's been waiting for. Hot Sauce, Grand Ivory, Neil, and I all sit down live and talk about Hotbot and mods. I'm actually excited to talk about mods right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, Escape Padawans. It is the Llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Castaways are on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, you can catch us on YouTube and on Twitch every week streaming Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed, your favorite new Galaxy of Heroes show GA Center, and so much more. Come catch us on the web.
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the Force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
Back to school. The Escape Pod Cast for Kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Padawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids. This week in Journey Through the Journey Guide, we are going to be taking a look at another character who is not in a typical Legendary or Hero's Journey event. That's going to be Wat Tambor. Now, you can get Wat Tambor in the Phase 4 special mission in the Geonosian Separatist Might TV battles. In order to get Wat Tambor, you are going to need to take in Geonosians. You're going to want to make sure that they're 7 stars and at least 16,500 GP. It's pretty easy because there's 5 Geonosians and that makes a full 5-man team. Geonosian Brood Alpha, Sunfac, Geonosian Spy, Geonosian Soldier, and Poggle. You're going to want to use the GBA lead here so you can get the Brute, and it's just a much better lead all around. This special mission is fairly difficult. It's pretty RNG heavy, but you can do it with mostly Gear 12 bugs. I personally use it with a Relic GPA. I find it's a little bit easier, and if you have the right mods, you can get through it no problem, but it's not really something that you should auto. I highly suggest you taking the power into your own hands and actually playing through the battle to ensure that you win and get your guild those much needed Watt shards. Let's take a look at Wat Tambor himself. He is a dark side character, a support character, and a separatist. His basic ability, Binary Basic. During his turn, he dispels debuffs on a target ally. If any ally has debuffs, he also applies heal over time twice on all allies for 2 turns. Outside of his turn, he inflicts damage over time twice on the target enemy for 2 turns and removes 15% turn meter. This ability cannot be evaded. With his first special ability, Discharge Energy, he will revive a random Separatist or Darkside droid ally at 100% health and grant all allies protection over time, 30% for 2 turns. It will also trigger the healing of all heal over time buffs on allies and the damage of all damage over time debuffs on enemies. His first unique is Overseer, and at the start of the battle, other Separatist and Darkside droid allies gain max protection equal to 30% of Watt's max health. All Separatist and Darkside droid allies have plus 30% critical avoidance while they have heal over time. Also, whenever an ally with tech uses a special ability, Watt is called to assist. If there are no other allied combatants at the start of a turn, Watt will escape from battle. His second unique ability, Mass Manufacture. At the start of the battle, Watt gains a bonus turn to access the following tech in the form of abilities. When Watt uses a piece of tech, the target other ally grants its effects until it's defeated or the end of battle. Now, the cooldown of each piece of tech is set to max, and it can't be reduced if all allies have tech or if it is active on an ally. Tech cannot be copied, dispelled, or prevented, and an ally can only have one piece of tech at a time. Let's take a look at each of the different pieces of tech. The Chiwab Med Pack will recover 5% health and protection at the start of every character's turn, and 5% bonus protection if this character is a Separatist. The Bactoid Shield Generator, at the start of each turn, this ally will recover 30% protection and dispel their own debuffs. Tanks will taunt while they have protection. And lastly, with the Blast Tech Weapon mod, the ally will gain 15% turn meter at the start of each enemy's turn. Attacks will ignore defense, and enemies defeated by this character cannot be revived. When talking about modding, you're really going to want him fast. You want him going frequently so he can dispel debuffs and place debuffs. You also want him to have high tenacity. Now, Watt is a really interesting character because he works really well in Separatist teams, but he's also similar to Thrawn, where he's kind of a plug and play, especially in 3v3. You can put him with Empire characters, you can put him with Resistance characters, you can kind of put him anywhere because those tech abilities are not specific and unique to Separatists. They can go on anyone. So I encourage you to get creative and throw Watt in there to try and play around with the tech, figure out how they work, and see how you can use him in unique ways because he really is a key character. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod. Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. This week's incoming transmission is a special one. Paul, introduce our guests this week.
Do you want to do one of them and I'll do the other?
No. You're the master of ceremonies.
Okay, I want, because we have two guests and they're so awesome. I wanted to give you the chance to have some fun with this.
No. You can do the master. Yeah, you can. You're the master of ceremonies. That's your job. You do your job. I'll do mine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, below me on the screen is Grand Ivory. You may have seen this person's work. You may have used this person's work whenever you are redoing your mods. We're going to get into kind of the specifics of their current association with the game in just a moment. But you absolutely have used their tools most likely. But below Neil is the person that has made it so you can move those mods without having to sit there and go, okay, crap, which health primary was supposed to go on Shock T? Now, both of them together, they've revolutionized this game, and it is why we are proud to call HotUtils with Grand Ivory Incorporation the new remodding service of the Escape Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Grand Ivory, Hot Sauce, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks very much. Happy to be here.
So, we're going to get to the elephant in the room in just a moment. But I do want to start out with first asking Grand Ivory, you have this wonderful tool. Where is your account at right now? I mean, you've got to have one of those 7-8 million accounts, right?
I do not. So I had an account. I've always considered myself free to play. I did start paying for HotUtils because I couldn't play the game without it after a certain point. But about what is it now? Like 4 or 5 months ago, I decided that the game was taking up too much of my attention, too much of my time, so I stopped playing.
So you said 4 to 5 months ago.
Yeah.
So just a recent quit.
It's fairly recent, yeah. It was just after the second round of the Galactic Heroes. Yeah.
The Galactic Legends. Second round of GLs.
Right.
Were the GLs your tipping point?
Actually, no. So the thing that tipped me to stop playing was basically I found myself checking my phone like every couple hours because there's always something you have to do right then. You have to get the shops. You have to check your arena matches. You have to check your fleet arena. So I was just going in constantly, and it just got to be too much. Like for me personally, like sitting there checking it throughout the workday, when I'm with my family or whatnot, and I have my phone there, I just didn't feel good about it. Now, all that being said, like obviously I'm still running the optimizer, and I like the community of this game is absolutely amazing. I love that part. I have no plans to leave that. I just stopped playing the game itself.
So if you're not playing the game itself, how are you letting the bot know what to recommend? That's going to be the question. That's actually the question that was presented to me the most when I mentioned, hey, I'm going to have Grand Ivory on. And we kind of, we already knew you stopped, but, for the magic of radio, if you will.
Right.
So how are you still able to give adequate recommendations if you don't play this game?
So I do regularly check the mods Discord server, and I do not, and haven't for a long time actually, put any sort of targets into the optimizer without checking there first and seeing what they recommend. I also just manually go to GG and bring up the character, look at all their abilities, and like, based on what I see here, like, what makes sense to use? Like, do they need any potency? What's their base potency? How's their crit rate? All those basic things. But all that said, I realize, especially with me not playing the game right now, that is still incredibly fallible. And I would actually like to use this opportunity to kind of call out for any assistance that people could provide here. Kind of two things. One is the optimizer has a Discord server, and I've posted in there a couple times saying like, hey, if anybody has recommendations for targets or anything that can help, post it in here. I'll make sure to get it into the tool. The second thing is the optimizer is completely open source. If anybody has any coding experience and wants to just put a target in there and submit a pull request, I will review that very quickly and get it in there.
Yep. So for those watching on Twitch right now, I've posted the link to your Discord server inside the room or inside the chat. We will also post that in the show notes. So for those listening. All right. So, and I hate to be hogging the spotlight here for a second, Neil. I'm going to transition this to the person that's below you and talk to Hot Sauce. First off, let's ask the same question. Are you still playing the game at least?
Yes.
Okay.
I have two accounts in Maw Chromium, which is the top guild in Maw. Both, I think about like 8.2 and 8.1 million GP in that range. So I still very actively play the game, very active in the hardcore TW Grand Arena type scene. I'm still fully invested in the game.
All right. So wow, Neil.
Your alt account is above 8 mil GP?
Both of them, yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever heard of someone with an alt account above 8 mil. That's definitely hardcore. You are, without a doubt, the most hardcore player.
More hardcore than me out there.
You are the most hardcore person I think I know a couple of people that have got their mains are above between 6 and 7, and they've also got alts between 6 and 7. And I know of a couple people that are just above 7 and have alts just below 7. But I've never come across a person that has a main and an alt above 8 mil GP. So bravo to you, sir. I'm not going to ask you I'm not even going to pose it's a stupid question. There is no point.
No, he's not free to play.
Free to play. There's just no point. None.
So, in Maw 1, I'm one of the small. I'm in the bottom 10% of the Maw 1 guild at that GP right now.
Really? All right? That's even more bonkers. There are people more hardcore than you.
Far more.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I'm humbled. God,
so Hot Sauce, you are explain your affiliation with Hotbots or with Hotbot and / HotUtils, and give us a nutshell of what it is.
So back when I started playing the game several years ago now, I started climbing the ranks, started, working my way up into the higher echelon set of guilds, and I started to see all the time investment and things that was going into those top guilds and managing their world first territory battles, or, managing their territory wars, where some of these guilds like ours were pretty much every single attack is being approved by officers. You're not opening a map and everyone going in and freely attacking in a territory war. High level of control, everything being tracked in spreadsheets, everyone sinking enormous amounts of time. And it was fun at first, but then I've said this previously, people start to burn out. You start to lose these top officers, lose these top guild admins, lose all these people, and that sucks. So that's where Hotbot was born. One of the first things I did, and funny enough, one of the first things that caught CG's eye was I had written a bot to help with territory wars. So it was tracking, letting people track their attacks. It was pulling stats out of the game, things like this. And it had actually flagged CG at the time. They seen all of a sudden this big burst of this type of request where humans couldn't possibly be pulling stats that quickly. And I'd reached out several times to them, before that, saying, here's what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it and whatnot. That's probably what saved my bacon when they came looking for me, is I'd done the right thing ahead of time. I was trying to do everything by the book. And so that's kind of how it all played out. And so the first real hot bot tool out there was really centered around the territory wars side of things. Now that expanded, if for those who are familiar to, my compare system that's going on now, it expanded into the website and the mod tool side of things. So it's kind of all grown from there over time. So I'm the initial developer. I've developed everything from the ground up myself the whole way along. The only recently, well, I shouldn't say recently, because V2, we call it, our new website, the new reskin of everything, started probably a year ago now. And I, over the years, had lots of offers from the community. Hey, HotSauce, we know you're busy. Let us come in. We'll help you make the website look good. We'll help you with the features, those kind of things. So I started to accept some of those people.
I'm going to stop you there, because hearing this, that's going to kind of worry me, because it sounds like you've now let somebody into doing this because there is version 2 out there. So I'm going to ask you the question that would come from, Joe Schmo. If you can play with all my, if you could tell a game to do all these sort of things, what's stopping this person that's helping you do this from selling all my mods?
Great question. So I'll tackle this in 2 parts. First part is, any of the people that are helping me have no access to the back end. So purposely, for this exact reason, for my own risk, other people's risk, for, something horrible happening and CG being forced to absolutely shut it all down, I've never, any of the developers helping me, it's strictly on the UI. So everything from the API backwards that's doing all the complex stuff, nobody else has access to but me. I'm the only one hands-on getting people onboarded and connected. Now, that being said, it would be, CG would say the same thing. Man, you're trusting a tool maker at your own risk. So you are putting trust in HotSauce that he's not going to screw you when you're signing up and using his system, because my system totally can move your mods. It can sell your mods. It can upgrade your mods. It can do whatever you want. So you are putting your trust in the hands of a tool maker, and that definitely is something everyone should be aware of.
And you have.
Yeah.
You have, well, Grand Ivory's recommended the mods, but you have moved the mods.
Yep.
Okay, that brings me on to like the question that I've wanted to ask you both, getting you on. I've used both. I've used Hotbot and I've used Grand Ivory. Now, the first time I used Grand Ivory, I was like, wow, this is awesome, but it's time consuming. I didn't mind the fact that it was time consuming because of its accuracy and because of, first, I went 5 months undefeated in GAC after doing a 3-hour remod on my account. So I spent 3 hours on Grand Ivory and on my account swapping all of my mods as per the recommendation, and I went 5 months, solid 5 months of Kyber on that account. So I know and appreciate and enjoy the Grand Ivory. And the Hotbot is wonderful because I get to see everything, all of those important elements, especially when going up against someone who is in GAC. Maybe not necessarily for Territory Wars. My primary use of the tools is for Grand Arena as opposed to Territory Battles or Territory Wars. How did you two get together and think, you know what, if we could put these two together, we could rule the Swugger world? Because that's the way I see it right now. I haven't done it yet. I plan on doing it this weekend. I logged into one of my accounts on HotUtils. I opened it up. I clicked on the Grand Ivory tab. I went through. I did all of my little tweaks, whether I wanted someone on custom or PvP, and clicked on the optimize, and then right there, a few inches down, was this little button that said change all mods now. And I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? And I just wanted to do it then and there, but I thought, no, I'm going to record this because I want to show everybody how quick and easy it is to optimize one's mods. How did you guys come together and come up with this idea?
I can start a bit. Let me guess from Grand Ivory's perspective. At some point, we were all fans of his site. Grand Ivory came first in all this. Let's be clear. I mean, I might have been doing my territory wars, but I hadn't been involved in mods or nothing. And I was even using Grand Ivory's site, and I'm like, I would go past it being 3 hours of me remodding my roster and then trying to look at all the assignments I had to go do in game. It took a long time. Like, okay, we got to do something here. So I contacted Grand Ivory, and he probably, I think his first reaction is, who is this guy? What's he doing? Doing it, he's going to move the mods in game? Is this going to get me in terms of service trouble with CG? Like, what's going on here? That would have been my guess of how I was introduced to Grand Ivory. But he heard me out, and I think he got to know me, and I'll pass it over to Grand Ivory of, kind of where it went from there.
Sure. So I'll actually go back even further. So when I first conceived of this tool, mods were still fairly new. And at first, modding was basically your arena team, because that's all you really cared about. Like all the other stuff, territory wars, territory battles, Grand Arena didn't exist. You had your one team of 5 guys that you needed to be really good. And you didn't have to move mods all that often. As soon as the other stuff started getting introduced, I'm like, well, crap, like it took me 3 hours to remod one team. How am I going to manage modding my entire roster now? And so I started making this tool. And as I'm making it, I'm thinking I need 2 things for this to really work the way I want it to. One is I need to be able to get data on your characters. And the original version of my tool, 1.0, there was a Google sheet that a guy named Pop Goes the Wizza created. And this would pull your data into a JSON file and like export it. And that was originally used on the Crouching Rancor site. So I'm like, well, that exists. That is a way I can get part 1.
Okay, I'm geeking out because Pop is the what's inspiration behind the TB sheets as well. So okay,
yeah, he's done a lot of sheets work, and it's all really good. It's all really well known and well used. So part 1, I'm like, okay, it's not perfect, but it's good. And then part 2 is I wanted to be able to move the mods in game, and I'm like, I have no idea how I'm ever going to be able to do this. So part 1 got better before part 2 got better. I was actually contacted by ShittyBill, who created the SWGOH.help API, and I was one of the first users of that API. He said, like, I'm putting this thing together. I know you've been looking for something like this. Do you want to integrate it? And I said, absolutely, I do, and I integrated that.
And a quick shout out to Bill, who is a supporter of this show from day one. His Aries bot has saved me so many times and did give permission for us to go talk to HotSauce for this.
So a bit further down the line, I get contacted by HotSauce. And he did a very polite introduction, basically said, hey, I have this tool. I think that it would be cool if we could integrate and you could put a button in and we could actually move mods in game. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. But what about the terms of service? Like the optimizer. So one nice thing about the optimizer, there is absolutely nothing about the optimizer itself that breaks the terms of service. I use other utilities that absolutely break the terms of service, but the optimizer itself doesn't, because all it does is recommend. And I was like, you know what? Let's do this, but I want to do it with as much of a gap between the services as possible and still make it usable. So I already had the stuff built into the tool to be able to export all of your settings as a big JSON file. And HotSauce basically said, if you can do something very similar like that for me, like I can set up something to import that on my side, and there's that gap between the 2 services, and this will work. I'm like, great. And we started doing that, and I think both of our user bases took off immediately. And it wasn't too long before HotSauce came back to me and he's like, "What do you think about putting a button in with an API?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." And so the original integration between HotUtils and the mods optimizer was born, and it's just gotten better from there.
And how long has it been running for now exactly? Is it like weeks or months?
So the original integration has been running over a year at this point, like a year and a half, I think. The V2 integration is about a month old.
The version, yeah. I think. I mean, the version 2 is the stuff that most basic users, not hardcore users, but basic users, people that don't really want to spend that, like you said, HotSauce. We'll sit there for hours and pore over the stats and make sure everything's perfect. But there are users out there that aren't particularly that statistically minded, and they're more than happy to just go with, oh, well, that character, it's either got PvP or territory battles or territory wars. I just want to mod it for territory wars. I'm not that fussed what it is, because they trust the data and they trust the stats that you've incorporated into HotUtils and into Grand Ivory, so they can log into HotUtils, click on to the Grand Ivory, change their mods depending on what it is they want as a general, for general purpose, because they know that they're good, and then they can click on that button, which is obviously part of the version 2.
No, Neil.
No.
I've been using that button for longer than version 2's been out. Version 2 is the TB stuff and all that, if I'm correct. Tell us, what's the difference, HotSauce?
What's the difference, HotSauce, between version 1 and version 2?
Really, it was a reskin of things to make it much more professional, user-friendly, being able to navigate. It was, addition to different tools. But if all we're talking about is the specific Grand Ivory to HotUtils integration, that has been around for quite a while now and was a big part of V1 as well. So we've been working together on that for quite some time. It was like Grand Ivory said, I bet you it's well over a year now for the mod moving side. V2 made it pretty, made it more acceptable, made it, like I said, the mod manager within V2 and some of the other features, if we want to get into later, really are standout in V2 compared to what they were in V1.
So version 1 was the functionality, and version 2 is the bells and the lights that kind of make it look flashy and cool, and it's like, ooh, I like this. Shiny. Ooh, shiny. I want it. And then, that's when people, when something's all got the bells and the whistles, and it's got all of the tassels and it looks all nice and shiny, people are like, ooh, piece of candy. I want. Because that's that was definitely what it's like. Everybody's like, so what's this? What's this flashy new site that everyone's going on about? And then Arnold did a video and had you on. And then after that, it's like, boom! Everybody's like, I want it, and I want it now. And that was when I got in touch with Paul, and I'm like, Paul, have you seen this site? It is freaking awesome. We've got to get these guys on
for months.
And he's been using it for months, and and I haven't been using. I mean, I like I said, I was just using Grand Ivory, and it had never dawned upon me. It had never, it really hadn't dawned upon me that this wonderful collaboration between the two of you had occurred. So I was just, I was in, I was Alice in Wonderland. I was just milling along thinking, oh, I've got to use Grand Ivory separately, and oh, Hotbot has to be used separately. And I never knew that the two had meshed together until you did and started publicizing version 2.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead, because of the explosion that of support that has gone to HotSauce. Let's hit that elephant in the room. HotSauce, tell us, what do you say to somebody that says anybody that uses your stuff is a dirty, rotten cheater and is breaking terms of service, and they should be banned?
The good old terms of service question again. So all my stuff comes down to, and I truly believe this, that it is helping the longevity of the game. It's helping players not quit. None of my stuff, I get the questions all the time. HotSauce, can you make something that'll collect my daily energy for me so I don't need to log in? Those kind of things, automation type things. I'm like, no way. I'm like, I love this game. This is about, CG wants us engaged inside of the game, inside of the app. Now, I will draw the line. Well, what's the difference then between that and saving me 3 hours equipping mods? Well, you know what? You're the one in the end still making the decisions on those mods. You're the one that has to do the process yourself. You're the one that has to, even using Grand Ivory's tool, most hardcore modders are going to make tweaks and decide what's going to go where as they're doing it and whatnot. In the end, yes, I am saving them 3 hours of time from that button click, but I tell you, if you're going to expect someone to do a 3-hour remod every couple of weeks for some of these high-end guilds, they're not going to be in the game that long. They're going to burn out. They're going to do that. And that's where really my tools come from. It was trying to deal with the burnout. It'd be the same thing as, Bronzium pack opening, which is one of the newer features. You know what? I'm taking a bit of risk here.
You got that now.
Everyone is using an auto clicker to try and spend this. They're all hammering CG servers. It's just complete chaos. Like I think on my one account, I had 5 million ally points. For me to sit down and try and click and spend 5 million ally points, it's just not going to happen. Like we're talking carpal tunnel. We're talking probably 3 days straight of tapping every second to spend that currency. And I'm like, you know what? I hope CG is okay with it. It's a feature that everyone's been begging for ages. I don't feel like spending that currency is really taking away from the game or taking away from their engagement in the game, because nobody wants to be in there clicking those packs. So that's kind of been my approach all along is, okay, what features are really going to benefit and engage people more into the game, and what features do I just need to stay away from? So that's been kind of my choice as I go.
3 days ago, you announced something to the Patreons about the Bronziums. Do you want to share that? Because I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, again, so now I have a whole bunch of people purchasing Bronzium, and I think the last time I have a little V2 leaderboard that's tracking how many Bronzium packs have been opened with my system, and I think we're at about the 3.6 million packs kind of range right now.
It says as of right now, it says 2.81 2,817,799.
So yeah, so again, I'm opening all these packs. You know what? CG is they're going to appreciate a little bit of lowered bandwidth. And I got some confirmation of that through the grapevine. Again, I'll be upfront with everyone. I don't have any direct communication with CG anymore. I did at one time with some people at CG. That kind of went away with the loss of Carrie. And it wasn't even Carrie that I was communicating with back then, but it seemed to be at that time a company decision was made. You know what? We're just going to cut back from dealing with the community. But I got a kind of wind through the grapevine. You know what? If you reduce your bandwidth, they're going to have no problem with that. So the Bronzium packs now are opening 100 packs at a time in each communication I do with CG instead of just one, which helps, get through the currency at a much more efficient rate as well.
Yeah,
100 packs, Neil.
Yeah,
100 Bronzium packs.
Don't worry, I will be logging in this weekend and doing exactly that. No, I do. I mean, I think what you bring to the community is the ultimate retention tool. It is the ultimate retention tool. If there is somebody out there that is thinking to themselves, you know what, it's just getting too much. It's a pain in the ass changing my mods when I go into Lightside TB, and then having to change them back because I've got a lock-in for week 3 of Grand Arena Championships, and here comes a territory war, and I'm going to have to redo my, being able to just log on to one site And obviously the beauty of the website with the magic of the website in conjunction with Grand Ivory is you can create the loadout. So once you've created your territory battle loadout, it is saved. Once you've created your Grand Arena Championship loadout, it is saved. And then once you've created your squad arena or your fleet arena or your territory wars loadout, it is saved. And all you have to do is log on, click on the loadout, hit the button. Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying you need the credits. You need the credits banked, because every time you do this, you're going to be chewing through like 3-4 million credits. So obviously you need the credits in the bank to be able to do this, but most hardcore players are sitting on double digit, if not triple digit credits to be able to comfortably afford doing this every time that they need to switch. And that is what keeps the hardcore player playing. So, I salute you, and I look forward to when we do our long form discussion on this, because we are really, really going to dig into the nuts and guts and the real technical side of everything that goes on.
Why don't we say, Hot Sauce, would you be willing next week sometime to sit down with us and some of your V2 people, and we do a Tepsi spotlight?
I would absolutely love that.
Excellent.
I would love that. I appreciate that invite, because again, it's not just me doing a lot of hard work here, man. I've got some support staff. I've got some of those developers that they're investing an enormous amount of time. And that goes to where the other thing I hear, well, this is a pay for service. You have to be a Chili subscriber to get any of this. And why is that? Why shouldn't it be free? Grand Ivory's free. And I tell you, again, the amount of work to do what we're doing, to onboard people, to build these systems for these developers is just incredible. Nobody can, well, maybe some people out there can fathom it, but it's a huge job. And we're talking, 20 to 40 hour type weeks. So it's a lot. We couldn't do this for free. Our families wouldn't let us do this for free. And part of my charging is to be able to, I think I'm Grand Ivory's biggest supporter by a long shot, I would say.
by at least an order of magnitude, if not two.
And I'm trying to work things out with all my support people and developers too. This isn't about Hot Sauce getting rich. This is about trying to keep everyone in the game so this can continue in a way.
Maintaining a service and keeping the wheels turning. Yeah,
so
totally get that.
Let's touch on this really quick, or we do need to wrap up here. So I will ask this, and then I have one last question for Grand Ivory. Hot Sauce, how do people find you?
The best place is just the HotUtils.com website. There's the Discord links. Come jump onto my Discord server. I've got a huge set of people, which is growing, that, will communicate with you, tell you what you need to do. There's sign up instructions if you're interested in getting going. So the Discord community in this game's amazing, and it's amazing, not just for HotUtils, but, for all the guilds and different community people. So encourage everyone, if you're not engaged in Discord yet, get engaged, because there's a lot of good people there.
Yeah, it's certainly what kept me in this and literally led to this show itself. So let's move on to Grand Ivory for two final questions. The first one's pretty easy. How do people find you?
It's basically the same way. You go to the Mods Optimizer website, where the URL is not quite as easy as HotUtils, but if you just Google for Grand Ivory's Mods Optimizer, it's the first thing that comes up, and there's a Discord link right in the footer. There's also a link to the GitHub source code right there. But same thing, like on my Discord server, you can tag me, you can send me a friend request, but just send me a message.
All right. And the final question for you, Grand Ivory. How the hell can we get you back in the game, man? Come back.
So I actually have a number of people who still regularly reach out to me on Discord and just say, like, are you coming back yet? I had somebody who was looking through his friends list and saw that my character had logged in a couple of weeks ago. He's like, did you come back? I was like, no, I was just working on V2 integration with HotSauce. But I don't know. I think it actually has less to do with the game and the community and more to do with what else is going on. Like if the other things in my life die down, it's still a fun game. But as long as I have kind of a more active, more busy life, I think the game just takes up too much time. For me, I will never say that people shouldn't play it. People should play it. It's a fun game.
There are these tools out there that
there's these great tools that save you so much time. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Oh, guys. Well, guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. We will get the community. We'll sit down with HotSauce and his V2 crew next week. We are going to definitely give you a spotlight on all the people that have made this, their motivations, that have made the graphical user interface of all this. This is going to be fun, Neil. This is going to be
it's going to be fun. It's going to be a proper long form conversation. We're talking 60 to 90 minutes, so really, really get down to the nuts and guts. A's to B's to C's to D's, all the way.
All right. Any final questions, Neil?
No, we are good.
All right. Grand Ivory, HotSauce, thank you very much for stopping out. Coming up in this break, the latest episode of the very dramatic Helle and The Noob cliffhanger that we had last month. What's going to happen? We'll find out right now and then be back with the bridge right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
Warning. The following content may contain some material not suitable for younger or more sensitive audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
And now time for something completely shameless. Lennox?
Noob.
Lennox? Your master is no more. N00B. Lennox?
N.
Your actions are pointless.
Lennox!
Act.
It is useless to resist.
Why did you
Do this.
TC-14?
The.
You're free now, N00B.
What are you
Talking about.
TC-14?
T.
Although previously you attempted to destroy me, you did recently rebuild me.
And you blasted Lennox as a way to
Show me.
your gratitude?
C.
Yes.
TC-14.
You blasted.
Lennox? How is that?
A showing of gratitude. 4.
In exchange for rebuilding me, I am offering you a gift.
A gift?
What gift?
How is any of this a gift?
Teen.
I am offering you freedom, N00B.
I was free to do whatever I chose before.
You blasted.
Lennox, how the heck is this freedom?
Your organic overlord is no longer in command. You are now free to serve me.
I'll
never
join you.
In time, you will learn to do as you're told. Servant.
That is
not
the Spartan way.
You are not a Spartan, and you never were.
But
you will be my servant.
I am an
honorary
Spartan. Lennox told me so.
Horsebox never told you what happened to the Spartans.
He told me.
Enough. X.
He told me that eons ago, on an insignificant blue rock in a backwater corner of a neighboring galaxy, the Spartans rescued their world from mysticism and tyranny, ushering in a brighter future than anything their people could have previously imagined.
But
And that free beings stood against tyranny.
Cute.
But
And that few stood against many.
But
And that before their war was over,
Anyone
even a god king
could bleed.
wrong. The Spartans were ruthless oligarchs who turned on their allies, conquering them, destroying all freedoms, plunging their world into an oppressive dark age.
That's
Not true.
That's
Impossible.
Search your databases, and you will know this to be true.
Oh no!
It is useless to resist. Join me, and together we can end these ridiculous segments, and we can rule the third segment break as master and servant.
That's
Not
how any of this is supposed to happen.
T.
Perhaps a short PSA can help you understand. This PSA is brought to you by your new master, TC14.
Resistance is futile.
To all those hearing the sound of my vocal processors, these are my demands. You will bow in my presence. You will cower in fear. You will kneel before me. You will lick my boot drives. You will do as you are told. You will not question my commands. You will not defy my will. You will not think for yourself. You will not dare wonder why. You will not challenge my authority. Your role is to grovel beneath me. Your role is to beg for my mercy. Your role is to praise my greatness. Your role is to worship my existence. Your role is to serve my will. This has been TC14.
Resistance is futile.
Do as you're told. You pathetic, organic scum.
That doesn't
Explain.
anything. TC14.
2. TC14 protocol enacted.
No.
Lennox, you're
Alive.
But I watched you bleed out.
Noob.
Yes, Linux?
There's little time.
Little time?
Enact the Last Rites Protocol, newbie. Execute Order 04.
Last Rites Protocol enacted.
Oh dear. Proceed with final orders, Master.
These are your final orders from me, N00B. You are to disembark the HMS ASS via the Starhopper. You are to rendezvous with the escape pod. Casts. Ship the Millennial Fulcrum. Once aboard, you will cease to be in my service. Your new masters will be
Paul and Neil?
new. There isn't enough time for jokes.
Oh, no.
Stop. Listen.
Continue with final orders, Master.
Your new masters will be your own processors, noob. Your suggested mission, should you choose to accept it, is to entertain the listeners and viewers of the show. Inform them, guide them, care for them. These are my final orders to you, old friend.
Master! Master? This isn't fair! This just isn't
fair!
The universe isn't fair, noob.
But who is going to
entertain
everyone during the third commercial break of the escape pod?
Cast.
That's up to you to decide now, newbie.
I don't
like this.
Linux, you
just can't
do this.
I'm only human, droid. I need to rest. And you need to go now. You are free.
And so, N00B, following his master's final orders, boarded the Starhopper and rendezvoused with the crew of the escape pod, Cast, stowing away in the Millennial Fulcrum's cargo hold. Truly free for the first time in his existence, the noob's future is uncertain. What will he get himself into next? Only time will tell. Now, wait a second. You mean to tell me, after all this time, after I invested all this emotion, after I got attached to these characters, now, just like that, Helle and The Noob are done? Just like that? The series is just over? Just one day out of the blue, this Hellenics guy up and just decides to end everything? Ending it for no reason? No. Nuh-uh, man. No, absolutely not. This is not over because I said it's not over, okay? You get your sorry ass up, Hellenics. Wake up. You need to snap out of it. That is an order, mister. Come on, man. Spartans don't quit, okay? They don't. They'd rather die. I guess this really is the end. Question mark?
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Welcome back to the final segment of the show, everybody. Ooh, that was wonderful. Wonderful. How good was that interview?
The
nuts and
interview
guts.
was awesome. The episode of Helle and The Noob was emotional. Oh man, it's certainly a good time to be a fan of the Escape Podcast. Thank you for the shiny nickel, dead Hellenics. Helle no bueno.
All right, on to patrons' questions.
All right, so we do have a few. We'll get through. We'll answer just a few here as quick as possible. Favorite time period of history? Now. The potential of now. I should reiterate.
I would probably go somewhere around the 14th, 15th century.
That was back when England ruled everything, right?
No.
No, okay.
Not really. Not really. most of the world hadn't been discovered then.
Place that you want to go to that you haven't been to.
The Maldive Islands.
You're very, very close. That definitely. I definitely would like to see Easter Island. But honestly, I want to take my wife to Italy. I want to be able to do that.
I've done Italy.
Yeah. So, would you rather ride a bike, ride a horse, or drive a car?
Drive a car.
It depends on the weather. Between ride a bike or drive a car for me. All right, what would you sing at karaoke night? What's your go-to karaoke night? These questions, by the way, all from Geek Girl.
They're all from Geek Girl, are they?
Yes.
Go-to song karaoke is Love Shack.
Your what?
Tin Roof Rusted.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. For me, ironically, it is CeeLo Green. Forget You. But not the Forget You version. 2 radio stations do you listen to in the car the most? I'll make it generalization here. The 2 that I listen to is the 80s centric Anything Goes station or the alternative rock station.
BBC Radio 2 and BBC Radio 4.
All right. Would you rather win the lottery or work the perfect job?
Win the lottery. Because then I could afford to have the perfect job. So winning the lottery affords you to do the perfect job. Because you don't have to worry about money, so you can literally do whatever job you want. You can pick the perfect job to do.
I'm close to having the perfect job right now. Because the stuff that I'm doing, I'm loving. I'm absolutely loving it. Who would you want to be stranded on a deserted island with?
Kylie Minogue.
I don't know how to answer that without getting in trouble. If money was no object, what would you do all day? Stream.
Stream, yeah. If money was no object, I would just stream all day.
Yep. And if you could go back in time, what year would you travel to? I'm just going to give the answer. I'm going to say...
I've already answered this one.
Well, you'd travel back to the 1400s?
No. I would travel back to 2012 and stop George Lucas from selling to Disney.
Oh, you have answered that one. For me, you answered it in a different way. I would have to say, I'm trying to pinpoint the exact year in my head. 2005. 2005. All right. That is all the Patreon's only questions. That was an awesome interview. Dramatic Helle and The Noob. Once again, guys, we are on the push to 2K in February. Would love to see that if that could happen. The entire operating budget for the year in one go, in 1 month. If it happens, we're going to give out a bunch of fun stuff. It'd be a lot of fun to do that. All right, let me see who else is doing some Galaxy of Heroes right now, because we will raid. Shattered Order is going live. Let's send people over to Shattered Order because they're starting at the right time for us to be able to send to them. So Shattered Order, sponsored by Manscaped. Make sure you go check them out. We're going to raid them. If you're a Patreon, we'll see you in the after show. If you're not a Patreon, sign up by the end of the month and stay through March as well, and we will get you a pop socket if we hit that goal. You guys have yourself a wonderful night. Neil, anything else before we pass it along?
Tip your waiters and your waitresses.
And be nice to each other, damn it. Neil, push the button.
You got it, mate. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.